Dobra večer, ljudi, and welcome back to the UBF podcast. I'm Abs.
And I'm Thomas, and today I brought a guest. It's not Marko Rudan, but it is.
The second best Croatian, Antony.
From?
The Western Sydney Wanderers.
Anthony, mate, it's been a pleasure to have you on. It's been a long time coming. Do you want to give us a bit of background about yourself and what do you do for the club?
Yeah, so I met Tom. I think we're both United by football. I'm a community engagement officer at the Western Sydney Wanderers. I've been there for 2 years. I met Tom through the Wanderers back when he was in the membership team. And I think we both yapped so much that I think it's about time we hopped on a podcast. So I'm very happy to be here, boys.
Mate, well, I think I'm an honourary Croatian today, considering 2 out of the 3 people on this podcast are Croatian.
Mate, you're welcome.
Family.
Mate, kako se?
Oh, no. Restart the podcast. Restart.
Good effort.
Nah, it's a pleasure to have you on this week. Your impact within the community and your experiences there. With our deep dive this week is going to be a big factor in our conversations. And mate, I think let's get it started, and no better place to start it from with our 4-1 Arsenal win over Newcastle.
Maybe in your books it's always Arsenal, but listen. 6 wins in a row.
Yeah,
it's looking good.
25 goals, 3 conceded. Mate, every week I'm just adding to this.
I think you could have scored more goals as well.
Oh yeah, we could have had about 7. I think Havertz missed 1 goal. Odegaard messed up an open goal for him.
But if you don't know, this man thinks Kai Havertz is the second coming of Jesus Christ.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
You found your new co-host, mate.
Brother.
I actually think he's pretty good. Like, I know he gets everyone bags him out, but I actually think he's really good.
Yeah. Nah, I don't blame you. As Jorginho said, if you love football, you love Kai Havertz.
That's true.
Mate, he's look, let's put it this way. We knocked off a pretty uninspiring performance against Porto midweek and came in and absolutely suffocated the living hell out of Newcastle.
I felt sorry for Newcastle because after that performance against Porto, they sort of had to come out.
Yeah.
They had to come out and go, you know what? We are still title contenders for the Prem.
Yeah.
They had to come out. And 13 shots fired.
Yeah, and that's before their first one came. Yeah. And I think it was like the 49th minute when Anthony Gordon took their first shot on goal, let alone on target.
Unbelievable.
Newcastle finished that first half with 0 shots on goal. On goal.
Yeah.
Bukayo Saka scored a nice goal. Kivior scored a nice goal. Gabriel. And King Kai.
Of course, King Kai.
Listen,
The man.
I don't find more joy in this Arsenal team than watching that bloke score. I swear to God. He scores, I'm a happy man. I'm smiling. Like, Saka scores, Gabriel scores.
For me, though, if we disregard the goals, 167 passes for Newcastle, only 22 in Arsenal's half. That's that's unheard of. Like, that's an extremally rare stat.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that lately, especially in the A-League?
Not in the A-League.
That's incredible.
I watched the video today, and it was an interview from Mikel Arteta when he first came to the club, and he was talking about the type of football he wants to play. When I tell you, you watch that and you watch these last few performances, he's there.
It correlates.
It's gone boom, as he said before. It's actually gone boom now. He wants to play dominant football. He wants to play attacking football. He wants teams to be able to just play in their own half, and we're seeing that now. Like, we're actually seeing that. And fun fact, Newcastle hadn't scored since 2014 at the Emirates.
Shit.
And guess who scored the goal for them this weekend? An ex-Arsenal player. But I'll run you through a few stats. Newcastle had 0 shots on goal in the first half, as we said before. As Tom said, 22 of the 167 passes that were made in that first half were in their own. And they only had 1 touch on Arsenal's box all half.
Shit.
Sorry to cut you off, but I think you guys are talking about their attack, but Saliba at the back, seriously, he's got to be probably top 2 centre-backs in the league.
In the league? Yeah, absolutely. 100% in the league.
There's only one other person I can think of. I think we'll get to him eventually, but
Mr. Virgil.
There's only one man.
Virgil Van Maguire.
A sort of man with an aura. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Look, Arsenal's had 48 touches of the ball in the box. They had a 2.86 XG to 0.16, 18 shots on goal, 18 shots on goal to 3 for Newcastle, and 9 corners to none.
You know who I felt sorry for? Carrius. He made his first Premier League appearance in a while.
Yeah, but even the first goal kind of reminded me of the Champions League. It was so scrappy.
I felt bad.
It reminded me of that game.
I feel bad for him.
I agree with you. I agree with you because I'm watching my team play well, and me as a fan of football, I feel for these players, and I feel for players like Karius and your Maguires and you know, even Havertz, you know, at Chelsea, Werner, those type of players that get ripped into on social media. You know, I want them to do well. It's not as a human being, it's not easy watching players with confidence on the floor having to put themselves in front of 60,000 people and try to perform. So even though we scored 4 goals, I actually felt like he was their best player. But
it does show why he's the third choice keeper for Newcastle. You got Pope, you got the Bravka.
Hasn't started in 6 years.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Like we said, could have had 7 or 8 goals. Havertz missed a 1-on-1. I think he tried to. He was a bit too cute trying to fucking.
Mate, he was trying to impress you.
He knew Abdul was watching, mate. So he's just like, I need to score this. But the pressure was a bit too much with my beautiful blue eyes watching. So Odegaard misplaced the pass to Havertz, and Emil Smith Rowe, your boy.
I don't think he misplaced it. I think he should have passed it probably 5 seconds early.
Yeah,
that was his issue.
I agree with you there. And I thought, you know, Havertz should have. My boy would have had a hat trick.
Listen, he could have had a hat trick. For me, though, I want to talk about what Anthony was saying about Saliba. You talk about Gabriel and Saliba. I'll tell you a fun fact you probably don't know. They have a 71% win record with them two both starting on the pitch.
Do you want to know?
71% win record.
Do you want to know what the win record without them is, or without one of them is? 51%.
Is that going to win them the league?
Ooh,
Is that going to win them the league?
Look, I
there's your question.
I think it's not those two. It's more than just those two this season. Ever since Kivior's come into the team and Ben White's picked up his form again, with Declan Rice being Declan Rice in front of him, as we said last week, it's become a proper defense that can go up and down the field now. You've got Ben White inverting, you've got Kivior going up and down, and Kivior is a very underrated passer.
I like Kivior.
He's settling into the role now, you know. And I think last year, you know, towards the end of that title run, when Saliba got injured, he should have come into the team earlier.
Yeah. I agree.
Because we had Mr. Rob Holding against Kevin De Bruyne and Erling Haaland, who the minute he'd take a step towards Kevin De Bruyne, Erling Haaland was already in freaking Fairfield by the end of it. But yeah, look, in the top 5 leagues, Arsenal have the best XG conceded across Europe.
Well,
are you guys XG people?
I'm an XG merchant. Okay. XG, freaking X everything.
He's the type of guy. He looks at the result. He goes, "A yellow button for me." Let's pull up the stats. Arsenal did really well. We lost 7-0. We did really good with the XG.
I don't know if I can get behind the XG. I don't know. I think it's a weird feeling with me.
You're that.
I'm not that guy. I'm not a real stats guy.
So you go result and you go, Sportsbet paid well that day.
No, I'm actually different. Like I'm more just watching the game and the feel of the game.
Yeah,
make my own sort of insights about it.
But when you deep dive your way into those stats, you got not just the XG, you got your XGs on target. It tells you where, you know, Man City last week against Chelsea, they had a higher expected goals from the positions they were in.
See what I mean? It's all these positions that we're in. It's all these little...
Yeah, but if you're standing at the freaking touchline and you're taking a shot, they're obviously going to have a low expected goal on that. But when you're Raheem Sterling and you're right in front of the goal and your expected goal is 0.9 because...
Don't you dare.
You had one on each side.
Don't you dare.
And you miss that, you're going to obviously add to that. But my favorite stat is now that I'm looking into it, the XG shot on goal, which is basically the shots that are on goal.
How many of them?
How many of them should have been converted? Chelsea actually outdone Man City despite them having, I think it was like 7 or 8 more shots on goal than they did. So it tells you a read into the game of whether teams should be able to finish, should be not. Mixing that, the possession. A lot of these teams like Brentford and Palace, when you watch them, once you start looking into the stats, you realize what they're able to do with the ball, having only 35% of it, is quite ridiculous. So
talking about a team that did that, Bournemouth versus Man City.
Tight game.
But Bournemouth,
tight game.
They took it to him.
Yeah.
Took it to him.
Yeah. I got up around 6 o'clock that day. I caught the last...
Okay, well done, mate. You got a routine. Thank you.
Brother, I unwillingly, I just got up. I'm like, my alarm was set for 7 for the game. I got up that morning. I'm like, I've never been up by myself at 6 in the morning.
I told you.
Need to join the run club.
Akbar, we're there, brother. We're there.
If Kai Havertz himself was at that run club...
Oh, here we go.
Where is the run club?
Location it can't be disclosed. Yeah.
Can't be disclosed. If he was there himself alongside Sydney Sweeney and Dua Lipa, I still wouldn't be there. I enjoy my sleep a bit too much. So
do you reckon Anthony from the Wanderers came on the podcast to talk about that?
Do you want to talk about Dua Lipa?
My girlfriend would be happy.
Look,
I second that notion. I'm there as well.
Look, if you wanna talk about Dua Lipa, it'll be a different podcast. So you can join me there.
Solo content.
Back on track. I woke up to. I think their pressure woke me up. I think Bournemouth's pressure actually got me up that early in the morning. You know, I felt the same way I felt watching that City Chelsea game last week, where you just knew City were going to score. That type of pressure.
They always do.
But I think that's what separates the good teams to the bad teams.
Correct.
So that they can win those games where it's gritty, it's tough. They're expected to win, but they don't come out there and perform the way they should.
I'll go one further than you. I think it's what champions do.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
When those games are tight.
I know. And if you look at the team we're going to talk about next, it's what separates them from Man City.
Yes, 100%.
A bit of a run through. Senesi miskicked the clearance, which fell to Haaland, and then Foden, found himself with the ball at the back post. We'll get to that in a second. Kovacic and Nunes got...
cover. We're there, brother. We're there. He gets minutes.
Look, Pep must be watching this podcast, because I said it 2 weeks ago. I said that Pep doesn't use, the depth, as you want to call it, that he has. They finally got a start. KDB, frustratingly for my FPL, was on the bench again. Haaland had 4 shots. No luck again, mate.
Mate, it's a bit surprising, to be honest.
Thank the Lord.
Are you worried?
Brother.
Am I worried for what?
For the rest, to score eventually.
I'm concerned when he comes against Chelsea.
You should be worried.
When he comes against an Arsenal again, he's just going to unleash 7 because it's me.
Look, I'm pretty sure that happened last season as well, where he did not score and then he rocked up against us at the Emirates and decided to just,
Trust me, you're talking about one of the best strikers in the world. He'll be back.
Let's hope not.
He'll be back.
Not Marcus Anderson after 8 weeks, or we go.
I'm gonna give one player a shout out, Mr. Edison. I think that this season he's actually shown that he's a goalkeeper, not a midfielder in disguise.
Can I do one better? I think he's outdone Alisson.
This season?
Yeah.
Anthony? Expectation. I think expectation.
Check out. Wait. Oh, sorry, I'm talking to you like a crow.
I don't know. I think he had a good game. We're talking about Alisson. I think he's one of the best goalkeepers the Premier League's ever seen.
Okay, so if
I'm talking about this season as well, Liverpool's defense has been great, and Alisson's been a key reason for that.
So Brazil hire you as manager.
I'm taking Alisson. I know you're going to get there, but I'm taking Alisson.
Wow.
I second that.
Oh, here we go. Okay. There's your co-host, mate.
I'm giving him credit because of expectation. We know Edison to be, like we said, the midfielder in disguise, sitting in goal that can ping up all in front and center. Yeah. But he had his moments last year where he looked shaky, where, certain saves, certain things that he was meant to do, he couldn't. I think this season he's actually stepped it up. And that's also credit to the 4 in front of him. Also, to back what Antony just said, I'm pretty sure Liverpool's XG conceded because of Alisson is actually 8 less than what it should have been.
Okay.
So his ability to stop things that she shouldn't be stopping compared to Alisson's is far superior. So yeah,
Liverpool got another great keeper.
Kelleher. Yeah, we'll get into that.
I know you like attacking my club. Just
watch the game.
Great and Chelsea this season are 2 words that should be separated.
Just wait until we get there. then you can do what I'm over there. I don't mind.
Big credit to Bournemouth.
Huge credit. Huge. They smashed it.
They took the game to City, as we said before. They outshotted City 9 shots to 6 in that second half. Had more XG, more touches in the opposition box, more blocks, clearances, and tackles won. That halftime speech from Iriola must have been like freaking empowering as hell, because they came out inspired.
Do you reckon there was some Spanish flair behind it, or do you reckon it was just in English?
He must have flirted, Yeah, and yeah, he would have.
Moving on from Bournemouth, I know you like your boy Foden. Is this his best season besides his breakout season?
Yes. Look at his versatility. He can play on the left. He can play in the middle. He's learning under KDB. I think it's coming into fruition.
Second follow-up question to that. Where does he start at Euros for England? Does he start, first of all?
There's one answer only for me.
Yes.
Where does he start? Because I've heard on the left, I've heard in the 10.
Who takes his 10 role?
Cole Palmer.
Take your microphone, take your headset off, unplug the microphone.
No, here you go.
Without bias here.
Rice?
Yeah. Rice, Bellingham.
Maddison.
Mm-mm.
Maddison over Foden?
Mm-mm.
Foden over Maddison, serious?
I think Maddison's a complete parallel, but Foden's got a bit more flair, man. He's got flair where you need to be able to separate.
So you would take Foden on the left over Grealish?
Brother, you're talking
Grealish
like...
doesn't fit, man.
Brother...
Go.
You're talking,
too much of a risk.
Hold on. You're talking like Southgate's playing a 4-3-3. He's not playing a 4-3-3. He's playing a 5-2-3 or a 5-4-1. Okay? It's going to be Rice and Bellingham. It's going to be Foden on the left, Saka on the right, and Kane down the middle.
You're forgetting Calvin Phillips in this.
Brother, David Moyes forgot him in the freaking change rooms last time. And yes, I've forgotten him for a reason. We talked about this, I think, like week 1. I'm pretty sure. I don't think it's changed. I don't think Maddison gets into that team. I think Foden on the left, Saka on the right. They'll both do a job.
I think Maddison gets into the team. I just don't think he gets into the starting 11.
Yeah.
That makes a squad. Follow-up question for the both of you. I want your take first and I want yours. Let's say, pretend it's Chelsea because obviously we don't spend money. We need more players. We got 150 mil. Saka or Foden? Anthony, thoughts?
And why?
I'll take Saka. I don't have a why.
I take Saka.
Okay.
And I'll give you a why.
Now, you're going to give me 2 whys because you're going to make up for his why.
Okay. Firstly, because consistency. We're talking 16 goal contributions in 26 games. Okay? Saka already this season, I'm pretty sure, is on about 26 goal contributions in all competitions.
Shit.
Okay? For me, what he does for the Arsenal team, I don't think Foden would have been able to do. Let's just say when Saka came into this team as an 18-year-old, coming through the ranks, carrying this team for the best part of the last 4 years, I don't think Foden would have been able to do that. Foden has also been protected coming through that team.
He's in a gun team, yeah.
David Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Fernandinho, Rodri, freaking, I'm sure Yaya Toure was around when he first started as well.
Listen, the list goes on, but for me, this might be an unpopular opinion. I think Foden can do things on the ball that Saka can't.
But I think you need to give Foden a bit more time.
Like what? Hold on.
I know he's been playing a lot of games, but I think he's still got more time to develop under KDB and under those players like Bernardo Silva.
You take... Here's the thing. You put Saka in that Man City team, he stands out a lot more than Foden does. Yes. Yes, he does. And he does more and he contributes more. He does. Brother, if he's in a team... If he is in a team that is sharing the load and he's still whacking out numbers like this...
Okay, does Saka improve Man City overall?
Yes. Yes, he does.
So he takes them to a different level, Centurions, 110 points.
I think so. Because the output that he has is better than Foden's. Yes, he might not be as creative with the passing ability of Foden.
That's why I think Foden on the ball can do things Saka can't.
Okay, he can pass better than Saka. But at the same time, Saka is two-footed. He's able to play on both feet. He's able to play on the left wing, the right wing. But he's played at left back. If you want to talk about versatility as well. And the positions that he drops in very centrally sometimes. And I'm talking midfield. Yeah. Okay, Foden, yes, can play on the left. He's won, fair credit, before City fans come at me. Yes, you want to league with him at false 9. Fair credit to him. But when you've got De Bruyne, when you've got now Haaland, when you had players like Aguero around at the time, Jesus, like I said, David Silva.
He's got nurtured. He's got nurtured.
Saka was thrown in the deep end from the get-go under Arteta.
And Smith Rowe, thank you.
Smith Rowe. Well, he hasn't scored a goal in 2 years.
I don't care.
Anyway, Saka has had to learn.
That one.
Hey, if it wasn't for Dan Burn, mate, we would be having a different conversation.
Bloody bird.
But like I said, I take Saka just on... I just think, as we saw it in Euros as well, we saw it in the World Cup. He's not just doing it at club level. It's not just Arteta ball that's making him fire. He is standing on his own.
I think as a current player and as a whole player currently, I'm taking Saka.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's a personal opinion, but I think Foden has more ceiling.
I also think...
As a high ceiling, Foden has a high ceiling.
Only because of the people who are above him at
that. I agree.
Yeah.
He has KDB, he has Bernardo Silva, who we're talking about probably KDB being the best 10 we've seen in the Premier League.
Yeah. I think, I forgot who said it. I think it was Carragher. I'm not sure over the weekend. It must have been, Sean Wright Phillips. He said that Foden is too good in every position he plays. And I think that hurts him because he hasn't locked down a position. I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Yeah, but that's how Pep plays.
Yeah, but
that's how Pep plays. He can play him in the 10, he can play him on the right, he can play him on the left. That's how Pep wants him to play anyway.
Yeah, but at the same time, if he leaves City tomorrow,
yeah, that's different.
where are you signing him for?
Centre back.
Right.
On that note, so Saka.
Yeah.
Saka.
Currently.
What about you?
And I'll add in Cole Palmer.
Honest.
That's a different. That's cool. That's a different story.
150 million, mate. You'd have to pay me.
Get him on the podcast.
Cole, mate, if you're watching.
For me personally, I think on the ball, if you give me a 1-on-1 scenario, beat a man and finish,
Saka.
I take Saka.
Yeah.
If you give me who would I like to impact the team more, Foden, because he's got a higher ceiling. I agree with him on that
just
point.
watch Saka's goal on the weekend.
Yeah, 1 goal.
Even on his...
Have you watched Foden's hat-trick?
Yes, but we're talking about 1-on-1. On the weekend, he comes in on the right, cuts in on the left, and shoots bottom left corner.
It's a beautiful goal.
Yeah, but even the week before, there's not many right wingers in the world that are left-footed that could take a player on, take it to their right, and hit it on their right foot, just rocket it into the goal. And he's done it multiple times now. His ability, I think he goes underrated because he plays for Arsenal, and a lot of people don't like giving Arsenal credit. Like Rio Ferdinand on the weekend.
Yeah,
did you see what he said?
He was a mug. He's a mug.
Bruv, are you mad?
Brother, he played for United. That's all we have to say.
Can we just tell the guys what he said?
Yeah.
If Manchester United offered Mikel Arteta a contract, he would tell the guys, sorry, I have to take this opportunity and leave Arsenal for Manchester United. Are you serious?
That's a mud, bro.
Your club's in the mud, bro. Your club's actually in the mud. Like you think that you're not the Manchester United of old. And before we get on to Manchester United, this isn't the same club from 10, 20 years ago.
Oh, God, no.
No. So when you're telling me that Mikel Arteta, Mr. Arsenal, who even played for Everton, who hate Liverpool, yeah, you might, if you want to go through that deep connection where he hates Liverpool, so he's going to join Manchester United.
Yeah. No, not a chance.
There's not a chance. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, you need to get off your high horse and freaking great player. And don't get me wrong, I actually don't mind him as a pundit, but his levels is like either here or here. Like
he's way off.
He's so way off with his opinions sometimes.
I think you've got to be crazy to take a Man United job right now.
Oh, 100%.
You're walking
100%.
You're walking into depression, so you might as well drop by the chemist, get some antidepressant pills before you take that job. And
it's been too many years now.
100%.
Too many years now.
What's that? 2013?
2013, yeah.
Shit.
And Sir Alex Ferguson's still waiting in the stands, mate.
Fuck, I was in year 7. Shit.
2013.
You're in year 5. Fuck, or you?
Year 8.
You had a uni degree by then, eh?
Mate, I had 3 kids and a mortgage at that point. Look, onto the United game, quickly run through. 2-1 to Fulham.
Bassie's my new favourite player, just to let you know.
Mate, he's playing pinball in the box.
Oh, shit. No, he's right.
It's a terrible game.
Shit game.
Look, it's never a shit game when United lose. So.
Up until the 88th minute, though. Then it got exciting.
Yeah, Calvin Bassey put away a pinballing ball from the corner. Onana tried his best, but, Onana...
It's Andre Onana.
Harry Maguire finds himself at the far post, and, that big right foot of his just...
Did I see correct? First goal in 2 years or something?
I believe so.
Maguire.
Yeah, I think it was in the Premier League.
Oh, in the Prem. First goal in 2 years. That's what I saw somewhere.
Yeah. Because he didn't score when Ten Hag played him at striker next to Ronaldo, so I think that might have been...
On FIFA with the shapeshifter's car?
Yeah, no. Him in real life.
In real life.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. 4-4-2 at the time. I remember it, mate. Now, set the scene. Adama Traore picked up the ball from the right back position.
He's built like a brick shithouse. How does he go down?
Mate, Rob Holding.
Sorry,
I've never mentioned Rob Holding more on this podcast, mate. Took the ball, absolutely bulldozed right through that non-existent midfield that Manchester United have. Passed it to my boy, Iwobi. Took it to his right, planted Andre Onana, and then...
Onana jumped.
Onana
jumped left.
He planted it.
He jumped left.
Yeah.
Brother, he did long jump in the goal.
He jumped left before he shot. Watch the clip. He jumped left before he shot.
He jumped, but he didn't dive. He planted his feet.
He jumped left, planted before he shot.
Yeah, that's Onana, bro.
I'm telling
Iwobi looks up, he sees him jump, and he just kicks the other way.
If Iwobi's picking you out like that, no disrespect to you, Iwobi, you've got mad issues, bro.
Listen, I'm telling you, just get a club line or Anytime Fitness and watch anyone do a box jump. That's what Andre Onana did. He did a jump to jump on a box. That's all he did.
Mate,
it's unbelievable.
Look, Iwobi, jokes aside, mate, it was nice to see him play. He was troubling Dalot that whole game, and he's starting to look like a prominent figure in that Fulham team, and I'm happy for him. I like seeing even Joe Willock left Arsenal. I like seeing these boys, especially these academy boys, come through. It doesn't have to be through our team. Come through other teams and actually perform. Unlike some other clubs in their academies who are like, that guy who goes around and sleeps with too many women and doesn't know where he's left his kids.
Are you speaking about?
I'm speaking about Chelsea.
Okay. Thank you.
At least our
Chelsea.
our kids tend to do well outside of our club. So
Now, as you were saying before, I think you're looking at Casemiro, Eriksen, even McTominay. You're looking at these United youngsters. You got Kobe Mino.
Just quietly, what a player.
Wow. My question to you is it time that these United youngsters, even the new boy, first one you got to start? Omar first?
yeah, he was I think 18.
18.
The right winger?
The right winger.
Yeah.
So you got these United youngsters, even Garnacho last year. Is it time that they start bleeding them in and they start
For sure.
actually building the team around them?
Yeah, I'll run you through a few names. You got Kobe Minu, as Tom said, Garnacho, Hoyland, Lissandro is still fairly young, Amad Diallo, like we said, they gave Omari first and a go. And I'm sure that there's enough experienced heads in there. I'm not saying,
Varane.
Eriksen
These are
doesn't
Champions League winners.
Eriksen doesn't need to play every game. But like as we've seen, and I'm sure we'll talk about it with Chelsea, as we've seen with other teams such as Liverpool and City and Arsenal, they'll keep your Jorginhos and your Cedric Suarez's and your El Nenis around to help nurture these youngsters. But they've got talent. I like Garnacho.
I like him as well.
I'd take him at Arsenal because I see there's hunger. As I've said before, he's got that dog. But yeah, back to you, Anthony. Considering they've signed another Anthony,
Hey, I'll tell you what, this one's better. I'll send him play.
mate, he might do a better job on that right wing. I'll tell you that. Like,
I just still look at Man United's roster and I'm just comparing it to like the 6 biggest. And they look at across their squad. Far the worst.
So you reckon out
Far the worst.
of the big 6?
I'm talking Man City, Tottenham, Chelsea.
Arsenal. Don't give me that look, man.
Liverpool.
Arsenal, Liverpool.
So you think they're the worst by far?
They're the worst. Look at who they started on the weekend. They got McTominay as their top goal scorer. That's when you know you've got problems. Why is Scott McTominay your top goal scorer?
Hey.
Mixed sauce.
Why is he your top goal scorer?
Look, like I've said
I've
it,
got issues. It's like if Declan
not
Rice
wrong.
was back at West Ham and he was the top goal scorer.
mate. As I've said before, whoever told him, I've said about 4 times during these like 13 episodes. Whoever told him you're not a striker, you're a CDM, needs their head freaking. Their brains must be malnourished or something. I don't know.
Mate, I'll tell you who's malnourished. Am I going to go Nicholas Jackson rant now, or do you want
I'll run.
I'm excited.
to? Brother, we don't need stats. United is shit.
No.
United is shit.
No. We're gonna.
Oh my God.
You mean Chelsea?
Okay.
Man, we're gonna move on to the Carabao Cup, or
Yes.
you emotionally not ready for that?
I'm emotionally ready.
I want to hear it because I started with Nicholas Jackson,
So-
my FPL team at the start of the year. So I've got a personal hatred for it.
Mate,
What were you-
what were you thinking?
I had a feeling, man. I just had a feeling, man. I was
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
I had a feeling.
So for those who didn't watch the game, quick run through.
Oh, God.
Liverpool started the game with only 2 senior outfield players on their bench, that being Tsimikas and Gomez.
The heart race is pumping. You got the defibrillator at the back? Fucking give it to me now because I've got to go.
Chelsea fielded the same 11 that he played against Man City that got him a 1-1 result. Petrovic had his work cut out for him early. It was forced into a save from Diaz. It was a nice shot. I remember watching that one. Palmer had his chance. And with their first real attack about 20 minutes in, and then Gravenberch got taken off from an ugly tackle by Caicedo. I think he was lucky to stay on the field, to be honest with
Mate,
you.
that's all he does for the year. Just kills people. That's all he does.
Look, if that's more than a lot of your team's doing anyway. So Jackson saw an assist for Sterling.
Oh, he could have got your points.
No, that's the Carabao Cup, mate.
I don't care. That's only points against him, guys. I don't care. The club's gone.
Was that the right call?
Of course it was. It was offside.
So
It was
offside.
offside.
They've got the line to.
Listen, I love my club. It's very.
It's the other offside that we've got to talk about.
Oh,
It's
you're
the other
so
offside
right.
that we have to talk about.
You
I
are
know you've
so
got
right.
some comments on that.
We're almost there. So Gakpo put the Reds, almost put the Reds ahead. Petrovic was looking left at it as it went to the bottom right post, and it went back the other way until Van Dijk had a disallowed goal. Okay. Before that, Chelsea broke away a few times. Liverpool played their natural
Hit
game.
the post a couple of times.
Yeah.
Can we add?
I don't know how that game stayed scoreless for so long.
For me,
It was.
It was what's
a
the
miracle.
word? It was playing for a while.
oh, here we go. For me, it was the most entertaining nil I've seen in a while.
Yeah.
It was. No, it was, man. Those first 90
No, I have
minutes.
to agree.
Wow.
Yeah. So Endo starting in an offside position, okay, was declared to have played a crucial role in stopping Colville from getting to that Van Dijk header.
Do you know, like The Voice and American Idol and Australia's Got Talent? You know when you like phone in the line and you like get the votes up. I rang VAR and I went, brother, please, I'll give you all the money you need. The UBF, but all the money we've raised, I sent it to England. And brother, it worked. It worked. And then unfortunately, Van Dijk scored again. That was it.
That was the correct decision. Chelsea. Yes, it was.
The camera for that one. Say it again, please.
That was the correct decision. At the end of the day, Endo was offside. He was.
Yeah, but
and then he stopped Cole. Brother, had the ball landed, let's just say, a player or two past Van Dijk, I can understand it going through. But because if Colwell got in that position, he would have A, affected Van Dijk's run, B, put pressure on him instead of him being free, and C, I think he could have got to the ball. It's Colwell at the end of the day. He's an athletic person. Endo stopped him, literally stopped him from even running. So it's fair. It's a fair decision for me. And that's not just because I don't want Liverpool winning that game. I just genuinely think for once they actually got the call right.
However, we've seen in the past, a lot of those obstructions, a lot of those denying is with the goalkeeper in play.
Yeah.
This one wasn't with the goalkeeper. No. For me, that's why I found it unique and weird. Because I've only seen 2 or 3 scenarios and it hasn't been given before.
Yeah.
This one got given. But that's why I was personally a bit shook.
But black and white, as a black and white rule, they got it right.
You reckon?
I just think if they're watching the game like that and the VR are going to make calls like that, we're going backwards.
Thank you very much. There's going to be calls every
how many people were in that stadium?
Fuck, full house Wembley. Full house Wembley.
Okay, but
how many people in the stadium?
80?
Full house.
80. Isn't it 80?
Pretty sure.
90K. I'm telling you, 80, 90K did not know what was happening.
Thank you very much. Great point. Great point.
But
so if we're gonna look at those decisions that kill games, like
Antony, if he had stopped him, if he wasn't that offside, you got to look where he started and look where he stopped him. Okay, clearly there's intention there to block that player from the get go. Had he not been in an offside position, he wouldn't have been able to stop him from that far away. Okay, he would have come a bit closer. Colwell still would have had an impact on the play, and then I would have been like, fair enough. But because he was in an offside position, you need to look at where he started and where Colwell was and where the play happened.
If you're the coach defending a set piece, and you've got one player on Virgil van Dijk, are you making the correct decision? He's probably the most deadly person in the air, and you're telling me the defenders didn't look around to make sure.
It's just stupidity.
That ball was going to him every day of the week.
I just think black and white, personally, it was going to him.
It was going to him every day of the week.
But black and white as a rule, it's fair. It's honestly fair. So it looks like we agree to disagree.
I'm not going to disagree with the black and white rules. What I'm saying, if we're going to look at it, it's just we're going.
And to second that, they're going to end up stopping the game every 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah, but
because you got to be in football and how you coach. You got to be intelligent. Every coach, you're telling me every coach doesn't go on the keeper, stamps a little leg, doesn't give a little shove
on the corners. Everyone's crowding the keepers.
Have you seen Ben White week in, week out in every corner?
Yeah, I know, but that's from grassroots to professional.
Yeah.
So if you're going to stamp it out in professional, it's going to go down. It's going to filter down, and it just waters down a product.
Was he not in an offside position? That's what I'm asking.
Okay, yes,
he was. Okay, the intention of Endo? What was his intention?
To go back to Japan and clean the stadium like he did. What a beautiful man! What a beautiful man! I love that man.
Cuz
I love Japanese people. Fuck.
Was he not?
Okay, yes.
Look, we'll agree to disagree.
Top 10. Yes, you said top 10. Top 10. Top 10.
I'll ask you if it's 94th minute.
Oh, here we go.
I will put a scenario. If it's 94th minute and you've got a corner to win you the game, are you taking Gabriel or Virgil van Dijk?
Ooh.
In the air.
Ooh.
Gabriel's actually scored more goals.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's not a bad.
Who are you taking in there? Because I just think Virgil van Dijk's a bigger figure.
Yeah, it's the aura.
It's the aura.
I'm going VVD. I'm going VVD.
But
by the way, on this podcast, he's never gone against an Arsenal player. He said Odegaard against Bellingham last week. Just to let you know.
Virgil van Dijk's the best player in the air, man.
Look. I'm gonna be that guy. I'm gonna look at stats.
Oh no,
Gabriel Magalhaes every day of the freaking week.
His brother's cooked, bro. I swear to God.
You're walking down the street, who are you more scared of?
Oh, Van Dijk.
Nicholas Jackson, to be honest.
Because he might miskick your leg and hit your head.
No. He'll fire 100 shots. One of them is bound to get to me. One of them is bound. Whether it's a ricochet.
I'm walking the other way. Virgil walks at me, man.
I'd hate if he was like a freaking what do they call him, a hitman? He'd go and finding one person.
Hey, if he's gone to kill him, he'll kill him instead.
I'm not giving Nicholas Jackson my money. He's missing for sure.
Hey, have you watched the what's that movie called?
The Hitman's Bodyguard.
With Nicolas Cage. not Nicolas Cage. I remember the name. I'll come back with it.
Okay.
But if Nicholas Jackson was in that movie, mate, I'm telling you, it'd be a mass murder movie. So, anyways, once Nkunku came off for Sterling, personally, I felt that the running ability was gone. Nkunku's not that type of player. And then once Jackson came off, and like I said last week, as much as people hate on him, he's got legs, like every other player does, but he uses them more than other people do. So, like, he's able to run, he's able to put pressure on centre backs, he's able to get them behind. He might not score, but like he's doing things that I think you need. Is just fundamental things that he needs to work on.
I swear to you, a person with one leg has a better first touch than Nicolas Jackson. I swear
He's
to
only young, man.
my brother.
He's only young.
The touch is so horrific. Anthony, it's so bad. Anthony, I've seen you at lunchtime breaks go on the field. It's not that bad. Yours, I'm telling you, I got Poch's number, brother. I'll give him a call. It's not that bad.
I don't know. I think you need to give him time.
Give Nicholas time.
I think you give him
But
time.
listen, I love Chelsea, and I would love to give our manager time, our players time. We aren't that type of club. We aren't that type of club.
Yeah, but you need to change your ways, mate. You need to change your ways. Like, at the end of the day,
to a United fan and a Chelsea fan, they're not going to change their ways.
look. But before I go, I just want to talk about the subs really quickly, and then we're going to get into that because that's going to go on. I feel like you got the subs completely wrong. Okay, to begin with, he took Sterling off way too early.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, he brought him on for Nkunku. He took him off for Nkunku. Okay, then he gone to take off Jackson for Mudryk in the 90th minute,
I don't mind
and
that.
then Noni for Gallagher. The right subs, Tom, but he's just got him the wrong way around. If you're going to take off Sterling, bring on Noni or bring on Mudryk.
I would bring on Noni for Sterling, personally.
Yeah, fair enough. I agree with you there.
Do you rate Madueke? He's a tough one. I understand why you're thinking about it because he's tough. He's got that ability, but for me, I love him personally. I love him.
Noni.
Yeah.
You just love his laugh.
Good.
Say it.
Let me ask Anthony. I'm trying to get an answer. Don't disturb the process. Thoughts?
I don't know. I just think he's hit and miss.
Madueke?
Just think he's hit and miss.
I love him. He just...
But I think it's their whole team. I think everyone's sort of.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
If I'm being honest, I think everyone's sort of hit and miss.
Yeah. No,
I think Sterling has some good games. He has some terrible games.
But if you're relying on Sterling to get you top four, it's not going to happen. It just won't happen, brother. If you're relying on Raheem Sterling for top four, the T-Rex merchant, it's not happening.
Yeah, but it's also, you got to
Not
look.
happening.
Sterling does well, but he needs players around him to be consistent.
Of course, that's why I shined them at City.
You've got no consistency in that team.
There's zero
That's
consistency.
the problem. And to be honest with you, I think Poch did get it wrong, like I said before, because you're taking off Nkunku for Sterling. Sorry, Sterling for Nkunku. So you got rid of one pair of legs for someone who doesn't run, which means that Jackson, I'm pretty sure, moved to the left.
Yeah.
Okay. Jackson got taken off for who? For Mudryk. Okay. So then you're left with Mudryk, Noni, Mudryk, Nkunku, and then Palmer on the right. And then in the 97th minute, you decide to take off Gallagher for Noni, which then moved Palmer to the middle and Noni to the right.
I didn't mind Palmer in the middle.
But it was too late.
Yeah, of course it was.
It was way too late.
From a coaching perspective, do you not think you're changing your players too much, changing them around too much?
I agree.
You don't know where you're going to play.
I agree.
And it's like you can never get any sort of consistency with your 11 or with your subs because you don't know what's happening.
For me, I understand the back four. I agree with you. You never change the back four. No. Never, ever, ever change the back four for me. For me, I just didn't like how, okay, Palmer's a versatile player. Jackson's a versatile player. And Nkunku's a versatile player. But it's like with Man City with his point earlier about Foden. You can't get the best out of a player if you constantly expect them to do a 10 role, a right wing role, and a striker role, and a left wing role. Each role is different, Anthony, as you know. So you're telling me, even if you were to play Messi, Ronaldo, Hazard, if you tell me those types of plays, it takes 5, 10, 15 minutes to adjust to that different role.
Yeah.
And this is in a Carabao Cup final.
I know.
In a Carabao Cup final. And you're experimenting like that.
Tom,
Pochettino,
it took Ronaldo's
absolute disgrace.
It took Ronaldo time to move from left wing to striker.
Of course it did.
Yeah, but you got to.
And that's what I'm saying.
I know, but you're asking these 21-year-olds to do this.
In a Carabao Cup final.
Carabao Cup final.
Got to finish.
Tom,
Finish.
even in your
tactically,
league.
look.
Even in your league, you're doing the same thing.
But I know, but if it wasn't for Gallagher missing chances, for Jackson missing chances, for Nkuku missing chances.
I know, but Liverpool, everyone missed chances. Like
I don't like that logic, because by that logic, if we score the chances that we should have scored, we'd be freaking top of the league by 10 points.
See how he relates it back to Arsenal? With
bro, if Liverpool if Villa done that, they'd be top of the league by 10 points. That logic doesn't explain.
What was the XG in this game?
You don't want to know, mate. You really don't want to know. It'll be even more embarrassing for the end. But look, Van Dijk got his head to a Tsimikas corner. As Chelsea failed to track Mr. Virgil van Dijk, 6'4", 250 odd pounds, for whatever he is. He just decided to run, and did you see the celebration?
Here we go. Now, be very careful where we tread with this. This could back up.
Yeah, Tsimikas.
He's gonna need some butter tea.
Yellow butter.
Tsimikas, I don't understand.
Ready? Go, press.
Man,
the position. Did you see it?
I'm not saying that song.
Hey.
I'm not saying
listen.
podcast.
He did the Bellingham button in the different buttons.
There's one word used.
Ready? Button, yeah, go.
He put him in that position as he celebrated, and
but he didn't do that. He actually
he had legs over shoulders, to.
No, but he insinuated that he was actually going to project it.
He grabbed one leg and then the other, and he just went. Anyways,
great form, my add.
Great form by Tsimikas, mate. Not just the pass, but his
Jesus
Man, you never know what you're going to get with
myself from saying that. I was going to say his delivery must have been great.
Do you know what he just said?
What?
Watch the video back.
That's a secret. What's the time step on that one?
Unbelievable.
All right, we're gonna move on to a bit of Chelsea.
We didn't even talk about Kelleher.
Oh yes.
Give him another contract.
Oh mate.
You know he's 25.
He's young, and for me,
25 though.
It's a shame because he's, no offense to the people of Ireland, but it's a shame that he can't show his talents more often at an international level. It's a shame because obviously he's playing for Ireland, no problem. But it's a shame because he's actually not getting it at a big club regular minutes. I think for me, he's above Petrovic. For
Of
Chelsea.
Sanchez.
Oh, he's above. Fucking, you're above Sanchez at English soccer. That's simple logic. Timestamp that one now. You're above Sanchez. For me, though, what I want to talk about quickly before we get into Chelsea, before we can rip it to Chelsea, did you see the fan that insulted Enzo?
Yeah.
I love it.
That's it.
Oh my God.
What do you say? Good game, lads? He's like, unlucky.
Was this when he was coming up for the presentation?
Yeah, it was going off the presentation.
Tell me unlucky.
Huh?
Tell me unlucky.
Unlucky.
Brother, he full staunch, bro. Went at him. It was incredible.
Shout out Lucas Leiva.
I like it.
Yeah. Look, shambles, mate.
We are a shambles. Listen, it's a lack of a spine. We have zero spine.
Yeah.
You look at the players that we've let down. Aspi, Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, Aubameyang. Aubameyang, I don't mind. Koulibaly. For me, the one that really got to me, Rudiger.
That's all the experienced players you've let go in the last 2 years.
I know, but the brother's playing at Real Madrid week in, week
But I know,
it's like, how do you lose him? And you're playing around with Levi Cole, 21 years old.
Let me just paint a picture for people who don't understand before we start, ripping into to Chelsea, without reason. So for me, this is the chance of a lifetime for Poch to have picked up a trophy.
Of course it is.
And for the players there as well. You're playing a Liverpool team that was depleted, full of kids, and had players out of position. So when Gravenberch came off, who played in midfield? Connor Bradley.
Has he started a Premier League game?
Connor Bradley? Yeah, he has. The other ones that came on didn't. But seriously,
Kwanzaa has.
Kwanzaa has. Bradley has.
Yeah,
the other guys have had a few minutes. What my problem is that you went into extra time and Chelsea sat back against a bunch of inexperienced kids and sat back. What, you want to go to penalties and take them on penalties? I understand, and don't come at me with the stat that says that Chelsea have a younger team than Liverpool. It makes the experience. You've got a World Cup winner in there, in Enzo Fernandez. Okay, Conor Gallagher, who's had about 4 seasons of Premier League football. Caicedo's had 2 seasons of football experience. I'm talking Premier League experience. Noni Madueke's played at PSV. He's come here. He's played Champions League football.
Brother, Cole Palmer,
Man City won a Premier League.
My problem there, where we sat back off. I'll tell you what I think. What happened? We took Gallagher off.
Yeah,
97th minute, I think it was. We took Gallagher off.
Yeah,
and we just lost all our pressing ability. You think Nkuku's going to press? Come on, bro.
It's ridiculous. And I've heard people give excuses of.
There's no excuses.
Yeah, there's no excuses when they say, "Oh, we got tired." Both teams have 5 subs. They brought on 3 or 4 kids. You've got fair enough. Your bench wasn't necessarily stacked, but you still had three proper Premier League stars, and you were still able to take off Chilwell for Chalobah at the end of it.
Brother, those boys from Liverpool went back to school, showed all the lads their Premier League medals in school.
Yeah, literally walking the next day as the coolest guy in school. Just
17, 18, 19 years old. This is not right, man.
Come extra time, the attackers that Liverpool fielded were Luis Diaz, 18-year-old Jadon Danns, and Javier, who spends most of his time off the bench coming into centre mid. Okay? Like you said, the lack of a spine, the lack of experience, the lack of identity, and the lack of finishing ability it's hurting this team at the end of the day. Okay? For me, there's not enough experience, and you're expecting too many aspects of a team that it's just not going to come together.
Correct.
And it starts from the top. Todd Bowley doesn't know what he's doing.
Oh, God, no.
Poch, great development coach. Very, very good development coach. But at the end of the day, when you give a coach too many players to develop at once and you expecting them all to come together, it's never going to work. It's never going to work. Because you're asking Mudryk, you're asking Noni, you're asking Jackson, you're asking even Nkunku, Palmer, Disasi, Colwill. I'm naming your starting 11. Enzo, Gusto, Caicedo even, and Gallagher to an extent, even though he's the leader of this team at the moment, to all develop at once. You can't throw these guys into the deep end and expect them to actually come out, within 2 seasons and win silverware.
Listen, I can't disagree with you, but I'll just add one point. 60 million for Lavia to sit on the injury-prone bench and expect him to develop on the injury. How's he going to develop when he can't even play?
It's ridiculous. It's honestly ridiculous.
Where are Chelsea now in the Premier League? 11th? 12th?
11th.
To be honest, I hope we go in the championship next year. I actually don't care.
No. Look, and...
Hey, genuine question. Do you reckon we'll win the championship? If we were to go...
I was actually going to ask you where you think they're going to finish.
See, 8th. We'll get Conference League. We'll just get Conference League. Abdul, Conference League?
Conference League? No.
I don't think they move, man.
You're not getting European position.
I don't think they move. How many more games? 12? 13?
12.
12.
I don't think they move.
Yeah.
Who's above them? West Ham, Brighton?
Wolves.
United,
Wolves.
Brighton. Wolves are now above them.
West Ham.
And there's West Ham as well. And they've just picked up a win this morning as well, which was like 4-1.
Six hat-trick?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. I had him in my FPL.
Hey, I'll tell you who hope he gets hat-trick next week. The bat. The man. Brendan Barello. You touch wood right now. Touch wood right now.
What a segue.
Touch wood right now.
What a segue.
Anthony.
Happy Derby week. This is why I'm here.
Some would say the reason why you're on here. Mate, I'll tell you what. How happy were you when Sapsford scored last time in November?
I was happy. I think it was probably the top three Derby moment. I think the year before when Yangi scored.
Oh my God,
that was bigger. I think it was more just because of the Ninkovic hype.
The atmosphere as well.
And yeah, it's always good sort of winning at home.
So a quick story. I grabbed my boy Matthew. I grabbed Matthew so hard, I think he still has actual marks on his chest. I grabbed him and I shook that brother like a rag doll. I went, God, it's winning.
Yeah, I think we were in the active support. They put black tape over the first 2-3 rows.
That got set.
When he scored, man, we ran in, jumping.
It's incredible. The only reason normally I'm like you, confident, mate. Sydney have only lost 1 in the last 10.
6 wins, 3 draws, and a loss.
Whereas the Wanderers,
in the last, I'm just going to say the last 5, they've lost 2, won 2, drawn 1. Safe to say for me, Sydney found the I'm going to play. I love the Wanderers. I'm going to play devil's advocate because I don't think either of you are going to do it.
Oh God, no.
Okay.
I'll do it for certain players, but
you work for the club, mate. Just
your
allegiances.
Thanks, pressure. Thanks, mate.
No.
I try not to be biased here, but
I know where your allegiances lie. I'm never going to bother asking you.
Anthony, mate, just wear the hat. You fucking might as well, brother.
No way.
Well, safe to say Sydney found the consistency. They've collected 21 points from a possible 30 in the last 10, and now puts them 4 points clear in 6. Okay. Joe Lolly has had 13 goals and assists this season, 18 games. The crazy thing is he hasn't scored or assisted in his last 5. But what that tells me, watching as a football fan, is that Sydney FC team now is a collective. They're playing as a collective. They're playing together, and they're not just relying on Lolly.
Yeah, I think even in the A-League, you can kind of see those big teams that we've always spoken about for years: Sydney, Melbourne City. Even Mariners coming off the grand final. They all started slow.
Yeah,
they all started slow. So I think we're trying to find it's all coming to fruition now.
Yeah.
Sydney, Melbourne City, they're all walking their way up the table, and us Wanderers fans thought,
unfortunately,
shit, we won our first couple of games, we're going to stay at the top, but
hey, flashback 12 months ago, same thing.
Yeah, but it's always there.
But it's us. Yeah, it's always us. And for me though, the only why I'm slightly confident, Simmons, Hendricks, Brook,
I think
Milanovic, Borello, they're all back.
Yeah, if you look at the last 3-4 weeks, we've had red cards, injuries, you name it, man. So
we've had everything, man.
Although I still think we should fear Joe Lolly a little bit, because I dug deep into his stats a little bit. I found that he was so how percentile works, the higher it is, the top. Yeah, so he's in the 99th percentile for chances created. He's in the 100th percentile for shots attempted.
Shit.
He's in the 96th percentile for touches and the 91st percentile for aerial duels won.
Marcelo's 100% percentile.
The aerial duels won,
100%.
100%. I think I'm taking him over VVD.
Chuck him in the fantasy team.
Look, mate, he was killing it at Lyon, mate. He just thought he'd bring his talents to us in Sydney. But, yeah. Mate, Sydney's number 10, mate. For me, best player this season.
Joe Lolly.
Yeah,
I think he's hitting his strides. But I think, what a signing. Like, he's 30, 31 when he joined the league.
Even
he's coming straight from the championship.
Claudio last week, he's good mates with him.
Yeah.
And he said he's worked really hard in the preseason. If he didn't, he worked really hard.
I think it starts with any international. Like, you've only got, I think everyone comes here with some perception that it's not tough. Like, it's a tough league. It's a physical league.
Very true.
And I think if you last it out the year, because not a lot of internationals do, and not all of these marquees do, they stay for the year and then they move on. Joe Lolly stuck around. He had his year, and now we're looking at him.
I got
13 goals and assists.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's 8 goals, 5 assists this season. But again, like I said, for Sydney to keep this form up and him not having goals or assists in the last 5 games says a lot about that team. And I think Western Sydney, I think the Wanderers have come off a win now.
Yeah.
Personally, for me, I think we're underestimating Sydney FC, and that's just being realistic, because to only lose 1 game in your last 10, it means that you've got that grit. Means that no matter who you're coming up against, where you're playing, whatever you're doing, it's not going to be easy.
No.
You know?
But I think it's spoken about in the derbies. Like, it doesn't matter.
Form goes out the window.
Yeah.
100%.
Like, you look at years when Wanderers were 10th, 9th, 8th.
Anthony, I've got a question for you that's off script.
Those games.
I've got a question for you off script. Your favourite derby game?
My favourite derby game?
Ever?
It's got to be Cassini Yengi 1-0.
Yeah, Yengi, 1-0.
I think that moment encapsulated one of the biggest moments, I think, in A-League history. I think Ninkovic moving to Wanderers after 8-9 years being the legend. To me, the best player I've seen in the A-League. To move over to the Wanderers.
Yeah.
And that clip is him. I know Yengi scored, but if you look at Ninkovic in the lead-up,
the build-up,
he knew Braden was coming to take him out. He knew he was coming to take him out. A little chip past Yengi. That was the best moment. That was the best moment. It's something in the stands I've never felt before. So,
have you tried to recreate it?
Me?
Yeah.
No, the Wanderers 5-side.
Great facilities, by the way. For me, though, I wanted to ask you a question before. I know you've mentioned Lolly. I've watched personally Sonny in training. We're talking about Sonny Kittle that we've recently signed. Any thoughts on him? Have you seen him at all personally? Is he looking good? Is he ready to play? Obviously,
I think he's the character that we needed. I think we were screaming out for number 10, and Alex Badalado, what a player.
Absolutely.
Like he's filled that role to perfection the last 4 weeks. It's exactly what we needed to sort of have someone in the midfield in that attacking position kind of string those balls, because we never had, Ninkovic has been injured. We've never had look back in memory, when was the last time we had a number 10?
Shinji. Bam Johan, but he went the other way.
I know, but I can't name a number 10 who we've had in the past to string balls, play with the wingers, play with up front. So hopefully Sonny's that person, because he comes off a great career, I think, with Hamburger. He's only 30, 31.
He's got a shot on him as well.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen his highlights?
Yeah. The day we signed him, man, it's I made sure to go and look at a compilation, and look, I've got a thing for German attacking midfielders, mate. Whether it's Ozil, Havertz, Muller, mate, Germany's calling me. So, but I agree with you there. I think Badalado's done well. But
I think Badalado's done really well. Yeah. And if he stays in the team, good on him. I think he deserves to stay in the team. But I think when you've got such experience on the bench, and once he finds fitness, I think it's going to be hard to keep him out of the team.
And I think we need to get Kittle in before it's
Sonny
too
needs
late.
to start for me.
He only came 2 weeks ago.
Sonny needs to start for me.
Yeah.
So my question to you, your front three. Are we in unison saying Barello, Milanovic, Sonny?
I think like if you look at the way we play, like I know it's front three, but like you got to chuck in Lockie Brook there. You got to chuck in Lockie Brook. He's our leading goal scorer with 7 goals.
Brook in the 10th for me.
Yeah, but he kind of plays like
on the right.
He kind of plays on the right. Like he comes inside to help Badalado out, and they sort of rotate around. But Brook needs to be in that team. So I'm talking front 4.
Okay.
I'm talking front 4. I'm talking Barello, Milanovic, Brook, and for the derby, I'm starting Badalado.
Wow. Okay.
I'm starting Badalado.
Western Sydney boy.
He's been in the club for years.
Get the passion,
You
mate.
can ask him, man. He's been around for years.
I agree with you
Had
there.
his birthday last week as well. Which is good.
Mate, where's the invite?
Oh, yeah. Where's the invite?
Mad
get invited,
invite,
I'm saying
bro.
it was his
Fuck.
birthday.
Oh,
I'm saying
his birthday. Oh, okay, fair enough.
Mate, he didn't think, let me get the UBF boys on there, but
Mate, that's the least you could do, Anthony, to be honest.
what a
Maybe next time
shame,
you can
mate.
come join me in Croatia.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, mad invite.
Hey, listen,
July Croatia,
Mate,
it's the place to be.
our FaceTime is all you, bro.
Look,
That's
mate,
all.
don't worry, he will be corresponding from Croatia.
But no, I don't want to underestimate Sydney, but I think it's about time we sort of won at home. I think last year we lost probably the biggest game in derby history with the final.
And for me, that was a massive opportunity. At that time, I think, or you look at all the stats we had him, and that red card to Mertzela, the injury to Mertzela, changed it.
Yeah,
for me.
and I kind of agree with you there. For me, it's kind of Milanovic, Badalado, Barello.
I just don't think you change it. Like Badalado's been around for
can't,
the
you
last
can't.
6-7 weeks. There's no need to change it for a derby.
Even Milanovic on the left. And as we saw last week, once we clicked down the right and we were able to weather the crosses for me, fucking beautiful. Whether it was Simmons or
I think it's about time we had some crosses that worked. Far out.
What
I feel like we've been crossing for years.
What a beautiful header by Milanovic. That first one especially.
Yeah.
Mate, that
To
is
get a bottom left corner.
that is a world-class header. No, seriously. Nicholas, brother, I don't know if you learned that at Sydney United or something, but brilliant header. That's a world-class header. That first one is brilliant.
Yeah, the cross was great as well.
From Simmons.
Which is
Man,
great.
Aiden, I think the injuries hasn't helped him. Last year was his big breakout year with Callum obviously coming through. How beautiful it was to rub the salt in Sydney FC's little wounds.
What a goal as well.
Oh my God, Callum. But I think Simmons is starting to show that form. These last 2-3 games, obviously the red card didn't help,
yeah.
but he's starting to show his form now. With
Yeah,
that
but I just think he's that quick option down the right on the
beautiful.
overlap. He can cut inside.
He's incredible.
He's an attacker. He's originally a right winger. That's why I
Correct.
think it benefits us because he can come forward and be that extra man.
Yes.
Yeah, and for me, again, it's important that A, our fullbacks get into the game. B, Hendricks and Brillante control that midfield. If they control the tempo in the middle, they're going to do wonders for the 4 in front of them to be able to attack. Because that's what we saw last week, is I felt like we controlled the game a bit better. We were able to attack properly. And just because, it showed you, we weren't able to attack right down the middle. So we had to go down the sides. And Hendricks and Simmons, for me, together, they link up down that right side.
They're beautiful. They're brilliant to watch. Especially Jorit. He's incredible. Anthony, I've got a question for you that I specifically typed up here. Last time against Sydney, it was sort of 50-50 tug of war, bit cagey, and then we opened up with Sassford. Are we, do you think, going to sit back, absorb pressure and go?
No.
Or do you think we're going to take it to them being at home?
Being at home is exactly the reason. Marco will not come out there there's no way he comes out there with a tactic to sit back and take a 1-0 win at home.
But here's the other side to it is, for me, the way that Sydney are playing this season, especially when you got Casares down that left, it's going to limit Simmons to how far up he's going to go up the field at the end of the day.
Simmons is quicker than Caceres, but
Yes,
he can come back.
But the way they play, I think it's going to be a tussle, and I think that game is going to, for me, I have a feeling it's going to be decided on errors. Someone's going to make a mistake. Someone's going to track up too high and not be able to come back.
But I think
someone's going to hit back on the counter.
Yeah, if you look at the 2 goals that come to mind, Sapsford, Yangi, they were all counter-attacks.
Counters, yeah.
They were all counter-attacks. So as long as we can play quick and fast and string the ball up front to Barella, I think we're
So you think, are we talking about a man in moment, or do you think we're going to be just
I think
dominant?
Derby's always about men in moments. Derby's are always about men in moments. That's what creates stories.
And as we saw last week as well, if we sit back too far, Sydney FC left back. I don't know if you guys saw the goal, Jordan Courtney Perkins.
What a rocket!
What a rocket!
Rocket.
And between him, and Ryan Grant, they've especially these last 4 or 5 games. And I was looking into SofaScore yesterday as well. They're averaging a 7 out of 10 each week, so they're building that consistency along with that team. So
Grant's always a consistent player.
Yes.
For me, I'm very happy. Is Braden confirmed out?
Yeah, he's out.
Beautiful.
He's out. They confirmed it today.
Beautiful.
Which is good because he injured Barella.
Mate, I don't condone injuries,
Yeah.
but I was very happy if Borello maybe gave him a little nudge or a little
I saw the couple all looking for.
Thomas was about to run on the pitch himself,
there
and
was a bit of anger.
he was about to run on the pitch himself with metal studs and just
Listen,
Before me the last couple of weeks, man.
before we get into our score predictions,
yeah.
Anthony, Clisby and Simmons, do you reckon they're going to struggle with especially Lolly and Caceres for me?
I think it's Joe Lolly. I think
Yeah?
it's Joe Lolly because he's fast. He's going to play on the right. He's going to cut in on his left. He's too quick for Jack Clisby, but I think it's about the connection between Bonatic and Marcelo and making sure that there's communication between that. Because as soon as Joe Lolly cuts in on his left, one of the centre backs has to be alert. Otherwise he's going to cut. He's going to shoot, and we know what he can do.
So you reckon Alex will partner Marcelo? Bonatic.
Like Bonatic will be on the left with Clisby, is what I'm saying. So Bonatic is going to need to react. He's a young player, but I'm confident Marcelo next to him that he'll be able to communicate.
And but Bonatic's been brilliant.
Yeah, he's
absolutely
been brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he was injured for a bit, which is a shame,
Shame.
for him.
Yeah.
He's only young, but
Is he 20? 19?
yeah, something like that.
He's young.
It'll
early.
for me. It'll all go back to what I said before. Tempo of that midfield. If Brillante and Hendricks control it well, we won't be troubled as much.
Yeah, I think Anthony Caceres as well. I think he's having a lot more freedom in that midfield this year. So I think him stringing the balls along as if Hendricks can shut him down, because we know Hendricks can shut down a player. I think that's why we win as well.
Yeah.
So you said the magic word there, win, touch wood. Final score predictions, Anthony.
I'm never going to come on this podcast and say we're going to lose the derby. So I think I got 2-0.
Goal scorers?
2-0. I've got Borello.
Borello gets one.
Borello is
Runs straight to you and gives you a hug. Yeah, carry on.
Second half in front of the RBB. And I think the next goal is Jack Clisby.
Wow.
Ooh.
I rock it because he's got one.
I don't know. Just
goes in. Abdul, talk to me.
The weird one.
I don't want to be eaten alive.
Here we go.
I'm going to go 2-2.
Oh, God, here we go.
I just think it's a clash of form. I think the Wanderers have picked up some confidence in that last game.
Mate, form goes out of the window.
Yes.
It's a derby.
Yes. I don't think... But I don't even think the last couple of games have been that bad. I think the Mariners second half was a bit lackluster. But I think even the MacArthur game and those games, I don't think we were that bad.
Yeah.
But
I just think we had a couple moments in the game that didn't go our way.
For me, the Newcastle one, for me, out of those four was the worst. For me, the Newcastle one was quite concerning. Second half of Mariners wasn't the best. But Adelaide, domination. First half, Mariners, domination. MacArthur, I think, were very, very unlucky.
Yeah,
so, for me, I can't agree with your form argument.
Look, for me, because of our form, if you want to call it that, because I think we're now a team that's coming into its own, especially after last week, we found the right recipe, if you want to call it that. You're playing a team that's only lost one game in the last 10, so they don't necessarily know how to lose right now. I think they've gone 8 unbeaten.
However, they're a very youthful back four.
Yes.
So besides Grant, they're a very youthful back four.
Yes, but that they're also going to feed into that. You can talk about inexperience, but at the same time, the way they've been playing, they're going to feed into that energy. And that's why I say 2-2, because I think the Wanderers will play a good game, but I also think Sydney FC have shown, and it's forget youthful or not, they're able to get something out of a game. So I'm going to say Borello. I agree with you. Borello. I think Simmons.
Oh, you're going the same tactic as me.
Yeah.
Taking a right back.
If one of those fullbacks score, that's
I'm
unbelievable.
telling you, one of those fullbacks is scoring. If you're a betting man,
Gamble responsibly.
They're good men. Good men.
The other side.
Courtney Perkins, another rocket.
no way.
I know Lolly's getting one.
Oh, don't you dare.
Yeah, he hasn't scored in 5. He's bound to get
I
one.
don't think Joe Lolly scored
I didn't
in
see
the derby.
it. I didn't see it.
I can't remember Joe Lolly hasn't scored in the derby yet. I don't think he's ever
No, but he's
performed in a derby.
only there. I think he's only played 3 derbies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Listen,
don't remember him.
He's itching, mate. He's itching. He hasn't scored in 5, mate.
Mate, he's going to look at claws and go, where is he?
I don't think he's
in the goal. There he is, mate.
Is there danger? But I don't think he does.
You know what? I'll take it back. Courtney Perkins.
Oh, I told you. There we go.
Yeah.
Not a chance. He won't have it. Not a
Terrible, man.
chance.
That's got to be $91.
Yeah, more responsibly.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Canberra. Did it?
For me, 1-0.
Yeah.
I think many moments. And I think it will be Brandon Borello.
It is the man. He is the moment.
He's the moment. Brandon Borello.
I think the fact that the 3 of us said he's going to score means he's not going to score.
Touchwood out.
Touch what he scores, man.
He will.
Look, and Borello, mate, you know, we love you here at the UBF podcast. We had the pleasure of meeting you and interviewing you. So, and we wish you scoring a hat trick, 4 goals, 5 goals, mate, making history this weekend. So
Get it done.
Just, you know, for all the boys in the red and black, for all the boys from Western Sydney and girls, we need that win. Yeah. I think to kickstart our season properly, to get that consistency, we need a win. And
we also should mention as well, the club obviously has done a brilliant job. We're looking at, for the first time in a while, especially at Derby, we're looking at single seats in certain areas of the stadium. If you want to quickly speak about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's been good. I think we should be on the way to a sellout, which is exciting. I think last year we had a great result at our game. I think we had about 26,000 people.
That's tops.
At Combank for our home game. I think we're on track as well to do that. So I think there's a few more seats to move. Yeah. But yeah, we're talking about single seats in the Eastern Stand, the members area, which is quite exciting. Yeah. I think the RBB sold out now as of
beautiful.
When we're recording this, yep. So I think it's very exciting.
My only question to you is: have you sort of under the table for me and Abdul box tickets or anything?
Aren't you a member, mate?
That's right. Anyway,
mate, I need to actually.
Oh, he's talking about.
I need to get onto it. I need to get a ticket. So,
that's fine.
Well, we've given our predictions, so I'm going to leave it there.
We've got a second episode coming with Anthony for a bit more on his role and how the West Sydney Wanderers have played a massive role in the community, and it's sort of Australian sport. And I know you're itching for that as well, to sort of give your feedback on that. But for now, we have been the UBF podcast. Anthony, it's been an absolute pleasure. Oh, we're doing the handshake. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on the podcast. We have been UBF. I have been Thomas.
I've been Abs.
And special guest,
Anthony.
Ciao.
Borg.
Yes.
Bosh.